Ahad of Kozao, Ani Raya na feeling na right ya kuwa damu, right ya kumwaga damu. You're right ni wrong, you're right ni wrong, cause ni you're right ili left. Wrongdoers wakirong mitaa, wakati innocent souls wanaoiwa mitaa. So injustice ni mob justice ni kujifanya God na kutekelea family zako. Injustice ni mob justice ni kutupunguzia viongozi wa kesho. Injustice ni mob justice ni kuvunja vijana wetu tusiwa tuwa.
Looking at the arts and the way artists are using it, like in Kenya, there were times that artists were really vocal. Would you encourage other young people to use art as a way of depicting the ills in society?
First of all, I'm not afraid to go back home. In any case, even if I was, I have no option. Uganda is my home. Yes, Kenya is my home too, but Uganda is my home, and I have to go there. If it's not okay, it's my responsibility and those that think like me. About art, yes, art, I've personally been using art to express myself and to make sure that I raise the voices of those that don't have the opportunity to be listened to by wider audience.
So you're very powerful, and when you talked about comparing Museveni to Idi Amin and worse, making him look like he's worse. So do you think that your call for other young people in Uganda to fight for their rights, do you think this will wake up and waking up everyone in Uganda? Do you think what you're trying to fight for is what people will now follow up with?
First of all, I want to make it clear that my comparison with President Museveni stands. Yeah. Yes, Idi Amin was a dictator, but he only dictated over Uganda for 8 years. President Museveni has been prevailing, ruling, in fact, misruling Uganda for 32 years and counting. And secondly, President Amin was not educated. He was an illiterate. President Museveni, according to me, is one of the most intelligent people in Uganda. But it's very disappointing to see that somebody so blessed by God with intelligence is actually using his intelligence against his people. President Museveni is educated, he is well-traveled and well-informed. So Uganda expected better from him, and that's what makes him worse than Idi Amin.
Maybe the last question for the last one. Do you think the next president of Uganda? Do you think will be the next president of Uganda? And do you think that the same way Museveni got into power, the same way he will live?
First and foremost, it is my wish that President Museveni lives peacefully, because it would be a good precedent to have a former president living peacefully in his country. He would be probably the first former president of Uganda. And most importantly, it's not about me and it's not about the president. It's about freedom, and not only my freedom, but the freedom of all Ugandans, all East Africans, in fact, all Africans.
Okay.
Thank you.
The last question. As a voice of liberation, what is your advice to artists in East Africa? It's the last one.
No, we can ask the section.
The last one. Yes. What is your advice to artists in East Africa? Okay, we're gonna take off.
So what I'm going to do, I'll ask you to go upstairs to answer that question upstairs.
Okay.
Can I answer that from upstairs?
Yes. This guy is because of the back I host to you, so I remove this. And
Man, they don't stop asking questions.
yeah. So you can go for the podcast.
Can I come there?
Yeah. All right.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Oh, we remove the seat. For you.
Powerful lady sitting and waiting.
Okay, the lady can sit.
Okay, go sit.
All right.
All right.
All right. So those are the power stuff.
Okay, that guys, these are coming us out.
All right.
I so certified. I so certified.
Okay. Smile.
People power.
Power.
People power. People power.
All right.
I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to hold his hand. I'm not going to get away. Hey guys,
Which camera? You need to see your mirror before it's dark. So it's not a difference. You need to see your mirror where we show you before it's dark. So you go all the way up.
I want to see
You
that.
see the mirror, then you come back to this place. So that's you're gonna have to sit, but it's full. So let's go up, then you come back.
Okay.
Okay, let's run now.
lock that place.
Hey, boss.
I think anaenda.
Anaenda juu?
Anaenda. Ameshaingia.
Ndio bodyguard wake ama?
Saizi go nyingi mbaya.
Ndio kumbe anashangaa ni hao sote wanaingia hivi wanaangalia wapi? Wanaingia wakalia wapi?
Sema sahihi ndio hiyo sana. Bobi.
Yes, sir.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
Powa.
Yep.
We apologize for starting late. Nairobi traffic and many other stories.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a fun night tonight. So we start with a small talk down here, then we go upstairs for the concert. Sasa?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to have fun tonight. So feel at home. I know it's hot in here, but enjoy. Karibuni sana Powa.
Excuse, you'll be forced to go down. Barabara iko hapo mbele, si hapa. I'm on the wall.
Sasa, sasa. Kuja kuna space hapo.
Kana mbaya. Ni nywele. Kitu inaonekana.
Every day, it surprises me the number of people I see on the streets of Nairobi. They could all be artists. And for the longest time, whether you're a graffiti artist, a musician, a filmmaker, a poet, we never really had a place where we could go and just do what we do. It was really difficult to find a place where we could work and collaborate with others. And I think we finally found that place in Power 254. When I became a photographer, there was no place for people like me. I wanted to learn. There's no school for photography, and I struggled to learn when I was employed. There was no one to mentor me, there was no one to guide me, and I struggled a lot. So when I made it as a photographer, I went to a community where I could actually belong, a place where I could hang out, and there's no place like that. A place where, yes, you love photography, but you want to actually exchange ideas, learn from another person, talk about your struggles, because everyone has their unique struggles in their career.
Well, you see, love makes you do crazy things. Ask my shoes, will is a kiatu, and what I went through to buy you those rings. Ask my shoes, will is a kiatu.
Powa, actually, I like to think of it as a collaborative space for creatives. It works in two main ways. The first way is by offering a platform where people can come freely and interact with each other. And these people are the creatives. And the second bit is through programs. And through these programs, we have people attend workshops, we have master classes, we have roundtable events, we have outreach programs. Not only do you come to a free space, you also come to a space where you can get more skills.
The main concept or most ideas I got from the whole lecture thing was the perception that comes out in every individual. It all depends with how you perceive it as an individual.
To see a thriving youth in the art industry, people who are able to voice out whatever is going on in their community and also make a difference.
Basically, sini wale it happened to move on. Mtaongeza unga to 250. Tutabai wanipata, tutabai wenye safari kana nani? Ni sisi tushazoea suffering alafu si move on, alafu tuna blend in kwa suffering. Wanipata but kama Powa ingekuwa speak off kitu hiyo hakuna penge speak off.
She cuts her dress a little more shorter.
wears it a little more tighter, and to get a little more into the mud, she pushes the needle a little more deeper.
With our Twitter, Facebook, social media, everything is craving for attention. And so in such a busy world where most young people don't even read anything to reach them. And so Powa exists to actually use pop culture to pass on the message. Is it about hope? Is it about reconciliation? Is it about corruption in government, impunity, bad Kenyan habits? We want to use pop culture, things that they actually see or listen to. So it's either a song or a photo they're going to look at, or a film they're going to watch.
Nikonja tasiezi karanga uwe hai shagala bagala niko tayari kulipa gharama sitasimama maovu ya kita.
And it's really cool that you're able to like actually be right in town next to the monument, so like people when they're passing by they see it. It's really nice.
Wanahelp sana to expose my artists, of which
of which bado out of your point ya ku-expose ma artist ni Powa wanafungwa ma artist macho na kuwapatia hiyo extra push ya kwamba kila artist ana responsibility ya ku bring out art yake kwa positivity kwa mtaa, unajua.
Could be able to replicate the same to other parts of the country so that people are growing from where they are without having to feel they're left out or they don't have access to these resources just because they don't come from Nairobi. So you could have the same spaces open up in different parts of the country, and then we'd have a huge community of artists. Then we can start to do from one country to another, just exchanging ideas, and we can have people come into our country and exchange programs more like from across the world.
Is one of Africa's most stable countries.
I've never dictated anybody.
The alleged missing Eurobond funds.
$1 billion goes missing? I mean, how is that even possible?
That's why the government has deployed our Okay, Skiza, we are the government.
Do you know her?
Yes, I know.
I come from a family of fighters. My grandfather was a Mau, spent 6 years in jail in Manyani prison. He comes out, comes back to Nyeri, finds that the home guards have taken over. And so I'm saying, I'm not gonna run away. I'm gonna sit here and fight what I believe in.
We're talking about Boniface Mwangi.
Boniface Mwangi.
Boniface Mwangi.
Someone called Boniface what?
I was born in Taveta, and you never choose where you're going to be born, because I grew up in a broken home. We were extremely poor. When I got a job, I thought I want to be normal, so I struggled and hustled and became a journalist, and I joined the newsroom. And then for a while I became normal, so I want to make some money and just make my freaking business, not worry about people, just run away from poverty.
It's rage in the raw and on the rampage.
We had an election in Kenya, and the results were violently disputed. My work was to document the violence. As a photographer, I took thousands of images, and after 2 months, the two politicians came together, signed a peace agreement, and the country moved on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present this year's Mohammed Amin Photojournalist of the Year Award to Boniface Mwangi of the Standard in Kenya.
Immediately, the president started reading his speech. Two people rose up and started shouting.
I quit my job because I was very hurt and very mad. I wanted to make a difference. And I planned with a few friends to try and take a stand about this country. And on 1st June 2009, I stood up alone against Kibaki to talk about these things. And I got beat up, and people thought I was mad. I am no longer alone when I stand up to speak about these things. I'm angry against injustice. I'm angry against oppression. I'm angry against corruption. I'm angry about those things. So if that is madness, then I'm mad. Because I'm mad against a system that oppresses its own people.
Protest leader and political activist Boniface Mwangi
and this is the time for me to walk out.
No, you can't walk out.
I can walk out.
You're an economic thief and you know you're a thief. You may buy the courts, but you know you're a thief.
You can clearly see that corruption killed those people. The taxpayers deserve better.
Why you, Boniface? Why is it only you?
Because I'm pissed. I'm a father of 3 kids. I want a better country for all of us. What I'm fighting for in this country is the guaranteed rights. Access to medical care, access to good schools, access to security is your birthright, according to the Constitution. And what you're trying to get is a revolution of thought and mind, because this country needs to change. It won't change through street protest. It won't change through a revolution of violence and other things. The only way Kenya can change is through the vote, a ballot revolution. The guys in power are elected by us. That MCA, that MP is elected by you. It's upon us to change our country. And it is our responsibility. And I'm going to continue this fight through all the threats, intimidation, death, whatever it is. They can threaten me all they want. I'm not leaving this country. My grandfather fought for this country. He died a poor man without realizing the fruits of the fight that he did. I'm going to fight for this country and let death come if it comes. But I'm not afraid. I am not afraid, and I'll never sell my voice, and I'll never sell out. And Kenya belongs to all of us, and I love my country. And that will never change, no matter what.
Thank you so much. We start Bobi Wine. Thank you to welcome to Part 54. I'll start with Bobovino to say a few remarks, then Bobi speaks.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Comrades Ria. Comrades Ra. Comrades Tibim. Comrades Tialala. Warembo Han. Warembo Mwe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm Comrade Babu Owino, MP Embakasi constituency and Secretary General Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association. First, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Boniface Mwangi for this opportunity that is given to us. And Boniface Mwangi, I love you, bro. You're a strong guy. Team courage. The courage of Boniface Mwangi can only be compared to a person who has diarrhea. You know, that courage is serious. Imagine you are in the village and there are wild animals outside and the toilet, pit latrine is outside, and you are attacked by that disease, diarrhea. What will happen? You will have to go. So Boniface Mwangi, the role that you're playing in this society, I love it, bro. You're a strong guy. We have the same ideology to fight for the oppressed. And generally, there's a big role artists have played worldwide, both nationally and internationally, at least to expand the democratic space in our society. We have an artist like, was called Guti, Femi Guti of Nigeria. The role that the person played in at least highlighting the excesses in the Biafra war. We all know that. We know the likes of Bobi Wine, the suffering, the struggles that is going through in Uganda so that the Ugandans can be free at last. And I believe that there is light after the tunnel. Bro, soldier on, we are behind you. If anything happens, we have SGR that now will reach Uganda. We will carry our goons and we will say, Tialala. Sinisawa. Here in Kenya, we've seen artists like Juliani, we have Sautisol, the kind of music they've produced of late. We have Octopizo, I can see there. Now, when you see these gentlemen, you know that the future is luminous, the future is bright. So I believe so much that let's fight together as a young member of parliament, both inside parliament and outside parliament. I will use that space and the opportunity to ensure that the rights of the artists are protected. The inherent and inalienable rights of the artists are protected. The common mwananchi, I'm part of you. And I will fight for your space. You know how we were doing it, we will still do it, and I believe that we are the change that we've been waiting for. It is time for the youth. I was telling the university comrades that the difference between a youth and an old man is that an old man knows how to be an old man, or knows what to be an old man, and knows what to be a youth as at the same time. But a youth knows only how to be a youth, but he doesn't know how to be an old man. Therefore, these people, when I was talking to Museveni, I was saying that Museveni's future is in the past. Because he can't tell us that now there's a future that is looking. We are the young that the future is ahead of us, and we are that future. So when you see us, you see the future. And I believe that we are going to fight for the citizens of this nation, citizens of East Africans, Ugandans, and Africa. We are uniting as youthful leaders in Africa. We are in talks, we've talked to Bobi Wine, we are in talks with Julius Malema, Chamisa of Zimbabwe, Professor J of Tanzania, HA of South Sudan, and we're talking with other leaders. We'll be doing rallies across the continent. And any president who will be otherwise, rather than being wise, we will deal with that person circumponiously. Thank you. God bless you all. Asanteni sana. Love you all. Bobi karibu.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Babu Owino. How you guys feeling? Comrades, power! Hey! Hey! I can't hear you. People power! People power! Bobi Wine, the stage is yours.
Wow. Comrades, power! People power! People power! Our power! Thank you. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Comrade Babu. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am humbled to be here this evening. When I was just coming in, I was taken to a room which reminded me of backstage. And when I came and sat here, man, you guys just brought back the artist vibe in me. I'm so glad to meet you. I'm so glad to meet the artists of Kenya. You artists, I will not tell you because you know, but I'll just remind you that you are a special kind of people. There's one artist that died in the same year that I was born in Uganda. He was called Okot Pipitek. He said, we artists are the mirrors of society. And indeed, we see it, that we are the reflection of what is going on in society, because not everybody is blessed with a voice to speak out, to reflect what exactly is happening in society. And it so happens that most of the artists actually come from ghetto places. So we are common people and we're supposed to reflect what happens in common lives. When I was watching what was going on the screen, it was not nice. There were lots of repression. But to tell you the truth, I even envied it. I wish that Uganda was like that. Because it's terrible, man. Back home, it's even hard to come together like this and discuss about our country. Before you know, police would be here beating the hell out of us. So I don't take this for granted. I thank God for this opportunity. I know you guys are not where you want to be, yeah? But at least you can come together. That's an opportunity not to be taken for granted. When I met my brother Octopizzo in Uganda sometime, we did a song. And I just reminded him 3 or 4 lines. My part was saying, if you don't show up, nobody gonna see you. If you don't speak up, nobody gonna hear you. Find out yourself, don't let them deceive you. One life you have, don't let them live it for you. Some people don't know them living a lie. They simply cry till the day they die. Why don't you speak when you have the mouth? So it is us to speak out. Today, I'm only here to convey a message of gratitude from Uganda. I bring greetings and thanks from Uganda, from the men and women of Uganda, from the intellectuals of Uganda, from the professionals of Uganda, but most importantly, from the ghetto people of Uganda. You might not see the seriousness of it, but when I was brutally arrested, beaten, and incarcerated in a military barracks, yes, I knew that my fans and supporters would be angry, and indeed they were angry. But man, you guys, the Kenyans, did the unexpected. More than 50% of the Free Bobi Wine hashtag came from Kenya. Guys, we don't take that for granted. From myself, from my family, and from my wife, I convey a message of appreciation to you. Thank you for standing in solidarity with us. Thank you for keeping us close as brothers. It was such a challenge, and you reminded us that actually we are not crying alone in the dark. So today is just to thank you and to also promise that now that I'm reminded that we are not alone, boy, we cannot give up. Yeah. We definitely cannot give up. We will fight on, and we know that what happens in Uganda has a bearing on what happens in Kenya, and vice versa. We are bound together, and we are going to realize our destiny together. We are brothers and sisters. We are East Africans. We are Africans. We are human beings. I'm glad that this place is called Powa. It is power. It is power. 254. It is art rising. That reminds us of the responsibility of art. That art is not just for fun. Art is not just to get us popular. Art is not just to make us money. Yes, we are glad and we are happy to achieve all those things, but art is also to reflect the plight of those people, especially those millions and millions of fans that stand with us. Just before I got arrested, I was working on a project with artists from Kenya and Tanzania, and of course from Uganda. It has not yet gotten finished, but when I've gotten here, man, I even got more inspired. We are proud of you guys. Thank you so much, Bonnie. And thank you so much, Kenya. I'm speechless, especially when I saw the pictures you guys painted, when I saw the demonstrations. I'm like, do we guys deserve this? But still, I'm reminded that when we come together and speak with one voice, we can overcome any kind of oppression. We are not about hating anybody, no. We are not about causing violence, no. And that's why we actually use art to speak, yes, with the youths them and with all the people them. You hear me? Yeah, man. So, guys, since I'm an artist, and since I'm at the foundation of Art Rising, I can best express myself through art, which is music. And of course that we are going to share it to the maximum up there. But I want to thank you, but also remind you of your responsibility, to remind you of the preciousness of this opportunity you have. When I started out as a singer, I was not a politician in any way. And as a matter of fact, I was telling my brother, Honorable Babu, that I don't even want to be called a politician, because where I come from, the word politician lost meaning. I just want to be this artist who's cautious enough to want and to take part in the struggle for the kind of world, for the kind of country that I feel I should grow old in, the kind of country, the kind of region, the kind of continent that my children should inherit from me. Art has always been our way of expression. So let's continue to use it, man. And when you use this art and use it the best way, man, you have no idea what we can do for our people. As artists, never let yourself be compromised. Never sell your art because it's more precious than anything. Never sell out because what you have is more precious than gold and rubies. It is a gift from God. You can only reward God for that gift by sharing it. After all, it does not even get finished. And yes, when you share it positively, the rewards are going to be enormous. I've come to Kenya before, but I've not received as much love as I received this time. That means when you stand for what is right, you're going to find yourself representing so many people, even those you've never met. So I'm glad to meet you, comrades. I'm glad to share this moment with you. I'm glad to be alive and to be able to reach you guys. And yes, having survived, at least so far, I'll make sure I use every day, every hour of my life to forward the struggle for freedom, liberty, and dignity for everybody. Because, guys, what happened to me at the hands of those we pay to protect us should not happen to any other human being. No, it shouldn't. And as I raise my voice, I know that I'm not alone. I was watching here, Bonnie was alone in the beginning. And before you know, you're millions. We thought we were alone. But after I left jail, man, I saw Kenyans were standing with us. Tanzanians, South Africans, beyond Uganda, beyond East Africa, beyond Africa. That means we always communicate. And if we take it a point and make sure that we look out for each other, that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers, you have no idea what we can accomplish. I want to thank you so much once again. You'll pardon me if I overthank you, but that's what I feel. There's nothing more I can do. Bobi Powa! You guys are special. And, you know, since we are artists, I'd rather we communicate artistically, musically. You understand? So, we guys are going to go upstairs because it's always nicer when you're high at the rooftop. Yeah. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you very much, Bonnie. God bless you.
So we can actually have 3 questions. Though there's one question you promised to answer downstairs, so you must answer that question. There's a lady that we promised. Okay.
And Bobby, you look at this side. You look at this side a lot, huh? Thank you. Yeah, look at this side. Both sides. Smile? No, don't have to smile as such. But just
So let's have a couple of questions that we got upstairs. We have 5 performers, Octopizo, we have Giuliani, we have Omondi, we have Gravity Band, Teardrop. So don't go anywhere. Listen, tonight we perform until State House that is up the road they hear us. We're not shutting down tonight. It's gonna be fun.
My name is Wendy from Powa 254. My question was, as a voice of liberation, what is your advice to emerging artists or creatives?
Wow. My advice to emerging artists. I think I talked about it, but again, I'll re-emphasize it. That art is a free gift. It is yours, okay? You have the right to use it for anything. But it is much better and much more rewarding if you share that gift with other people. By using it positively, because you have the right to either use it to the benefit of the people or to their detriment. So it's up to you. However, it's more rewarding and more durable if you use your art for the benefit of the masses, and at the end of the day, you'll even end up benefiting more.
Rada chafu. My question is going to all 3 of you. Bobi Wine, Boniface. I think Babu is the only one who's not an artist here. So, but for the 2 of you, like choosing this direction, okay? Because even us, like because of that, we're getting so much pressure. It's like, hey, Octo, are you gonna run for office? And I'm not going to run for office. But my question to you is like, how can you guys change young people, not only in art, without like being in the office? Because I know everybody wants to be in the office because we're talking about power, and that's it is amazing that we're talking about power. But what about those guys who are not in the office but they have the same platform? Or what about you guys who are not yet in the big office but we still want to feel the impact? How are you going to do that? And how are you going to channel the chain reaction to other artists? Because once you guys are called politicians, we start getting scared of you guys. So, mnipe jibu bana.
Thank you, Octo. Man, you always scare me with your big voice. Yeah, I appreciate Octo. And your concern is legitimate about politics. You know, you and I call it politics. How are the artists going to change the people, especially their mind? Because everything starts in the mind. How do we change stuff? How do we liberate people? As an artist, yes, originally it was about fun. It was about the nice looking girls and the rights and everything. But as I grew older, when I had my first son, I realized that I had to inspire him, and at the end of the day, many young people are looking up to me for inspiration. So I started changing my lyrics to more mature lyrics. And yes, the more I saw injustices, is the more I decided to use that music to combat those injustices. It is important for every artist to know that it is not about office. I personally never ever wanted to run for office because I believed that I could still play my part as an artist, and indeed I was playing my part as an artist. An artist is much more powerful. Octopizo, with all due respect to fellow MPs, your voice, according to my analysis, is more powerful. You are more powerful than 5 MPs put together. However, the case is like this in Uganda, and I believe Kenya too, if not the whole of Africa, that young people have many times distanced themselves from leadership. There's been, and in my opinion, is a deliberate move to create a big gap between young people and governance. You realize that young people don't get actively involved in the way their countries are run. As a matter of fact, they actually distance themselves. So I personally ran for office, not to occupy that office. Even when I was running, I was telling the voters that my job is actually the biggest part of my job is going to be outside parliament. I only wanted the opportunity every once in a while to articulate those issues on a formal platform. But my biggest job was outside the office. However, I had been talking for so long, I wanted to act. I had been explaining so many times to the young people that it is time for them to get actively involved in the governance of their country. But now I wanted to demonstrate, so I acted as an example. However, as artists, painters, singers, poets, writers, you can use any platform you have. However, if you can run for office, that would be an extra mile that you're running. So allow me to challenge you again, my brother Octopizo. You can represent your people even more than that. Get on the floor of parliament and tell them the things then, you see me? Or get in that office and tell them the things then. That's a challenge. Take it or leave it. Thank you, Octo. You challenged me, I challenge you back.
So I'm still an artist. I still create. My struggle was that as an activist and as a photographer, I was doing protests about bad governance, impunity, injustice. And when I get inside parliament, they don't even open the gate. They don't listen to us. And I realized if they're not listening to us, I must go into parliament and take our voice into parliament. And that's why we formed a political party called the Kole Party. African politics is very dirty, extremely dirty, violent, corrupt. And African politics is like a very polluted river. A river that is very polluted can never be emptied. You can never empty a river. The only way to clean a river is by adding clean water. And we're doing clean politics to clean the African river of politics. You can sit here and complain and do music about corruption, dictatorship, but if you don't agitate for political power, you'll always be on the outside. Remember this, if you're not inside that parliament, on that table they're discussing issues, then you're on the menu. And you must get off the menu and be on that particular table. You have seen my son, my last born, running around. He's about 7 years old next week. And if I don't stand up and speak and agitate and run for that elective office, my son will ask me, when those people who are very corrupt, who are very tribal or vile, why did you challenge them? So my silence means that I'm actually agreeing with what they're doing. If I can't convince Dr. Pizzo to run and someone else to run, or Giuliani, I shall run. What is our role as artists? Is to inform and speak truth to power. So as an artist, as you continue doing your music and you speak truth to power, you're doing your job very well. But at the same time, as you speak truth to power, you need more voices inside parliament to speak on your behalf. Parliament and political power is about representation. If I don't feel represented by the people who are elected, I don't feel like I'm their agenda, then I must actually challenge for that position. 70% of the population in our continent is under 35. 80% of the presidents in this continent are above 50, it's 50 and above. So the question is, who are they speaking for and who are they representing? Our country is being auctioned to the Chinese. Our leaders are borrowing money. Our leaders are stealing. And all these debts will be paid by us, our children, and our grandkids. So, the truth is, if you don't speak truth to power now, if you don't agitate, when slavery comes, you will regret that you never spoke. So my challenge to every young person in this room Go back to your community and become a peer educator. Become the voice, become the ambassador or the evangelist of change, because change must come in our continent. We must not live in fear. Bobi Wine represents change and represents integrity. And we can actually ape his ideas in this country and beyond this country. We're in East Africa. East Africa, we have Kagame, we have Nkurunziza, we have Museveni, we have Salva Kiir, we have Bashir. We're in a corner of oppression, and we must fight oppression. We can't wait for Obama to fight for us. We can't wait for Muhammad. We can't wait for Jesus to do that. We are our own Jesus, our own Muhammad, our own Obama. Change will not come from without, but from within. Change will come from us, because it's the wearer of the shoe who knows it pinches. So if it pinches and you're just, you're going to die. Kenyans who are here in this room, there was an accident over the weekend. 56 people died, and they died because of stupidity and ignorance and corruption. How do you board a bus and sit on a crate? Because mentally you're oppressed. You're paying the same bus fare like someone who's on a proper seat, but you go and pay fare to sit on a crate in a bus. There lies the problem, that our silence makes them feel they're not feeling pain. So we must speak up. We must. Let me tell you, it is the role of the youth to fight corruption. When you're young, they can beat you and break your bones, they heal. When I saw Bobi 2 days ago, I asked him, where's the Bakora? He said, my leg is feeling better now. I can actually walk even if I'm limping. That means when you're young, they can break your bones, but they can't break your spirit. It's time to break bones. Last question. A lady. Is that a lady? Yes. Kuna concert.
Kiki. Recorder.
We're gonna go high. So ask a question.
Hi everyone. So my question is basically for the young people, because I understand most of us here are young people, and it's part of the struggle where most of the time young people are in the struggle and they start off very well, but it reaches a point where, and I think Boniface Mwangi can bear everyone witness that sometimes you want really to rely on young people, but you cannot rely on them. Boniface Mwangi ran for office. Young people said they were going to vote for Boniface Mwangi. Those who voted, but also there are many who didn't vote. Because according to wait first, it's my question, give me time. According to population statistics, it means young people are more than even the grown-ups, right? It means young people sold out, and that is the problem we have. Even when I was listening to your interview, Bobi Wine, at some point you said you don't want to things like becoming the president of Uganda and everything. And I feel like as young people, we aspire to do things, but we don't aspire entirely. Because for me, Boniface Mwangi aspired for something, and I feel like he went entirely. Part 254 is here for young people. A lot of success stories are here for young people. If he's gonna buy again, he has to go entirely. Bonds have been broken, spirits have not been broken. What is the reason that young people don't want to aspire entirely? I mean, Museveni is just a human being. A dictator, yes, but a human being. If we speak as young people, we can get rid of him. If we speak as young people, we can get rid of Uhuru and Ruto. If we speak as young people, we can get rid of all these people who are saying they're our leaders, but they don't speak about issues that affect us as young people. Because we are the leaders of today, not the future. The future, we don't know about it. We know about today and things are not okay. So young people need to do something. So what can we do in reference to your story to ensure that young people don't sell out and remain in the fight until the end?
Point of correction.
So I'm going to try and answer and then he does closing remarks. So we go up.
7 is no longer human.
So I want to say this. When I vied, I did not lose. I learned lessons from the results. If the map of Kenya was black and white, my vine painted a small part yellow, and things changed. We ran clean politics. We did not align tribally with any political leader to get votes. After my campaign was funded by the people, You guys raised money to take me to parliament. You raised 15 million shillings, $150,000 from small donors. You gave 10 shillings, 5 shillings your time to change our country. And you did change, because moving forward, people have to run on issues, not on tribe. People have to run on ideology, not money. That is changing.
Money is the major issue, Yami.
And change. People, listen carefully. Change is incremental. Change doesn't come overnight. Because once Bobi Wine leaves office, because he's going to become the next president of Uganda. So, once Bobi becomes president, the real work begins to govern. So, the jails, the street protests, and even the losses is part of the training to become president. When you fight for change, and you don't defend it, you lose it. We fought for a new constitution. It was a wonderful document. It's been mutilated because we're not defending it. I'll give an example with the United States. So they were very happy. They wanted a black president, very progressive, respectable person, who governed with integrity and was doing his work very, very well. And in 8 years, he did a splendid job. But since he won, and they did not like Hillary, they did not vote, they got Trump. And that's what happens when you get change and you don't defend it. This past election in Kenya, our Vine as Ukweli Party and other people who lost in that election, we learned our lessons. So what's going to happen in the next election, that becomes our platform for the next level. We don't go back. So we're making small steps. They are unseen, but this country is changing. As he said, Bobi, that he couldn't do this in Uganda, there are days in this country he couldn't do this. But I'm doing this very proudly, without any apologies, that I can call out the president, take part in demonstration, go after the deputy president, and I'm still alive. That means the people who died for this country don't die in vain. So don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Don't say they have money. It's not about money. They can have all the money in the world, but you can never kill, as Sankara said, you can never kill an idea whose time has come. This idea is unkillable. Unkillable. And as a country, we are unbogable. Let me hear you. What? Unbogable. No one can bog us. We are young, we are strong. They can break our bones, but can never break our spirit. And lastly, and mark my words, we shall never sell out. We shall never sell out. We'll stay strong until the day we die. No selling out. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you. I thought you closed. No. What can I say? Every time we lose, or you think we lose, I'm glad my brother reaffirmed that we don't lose, we learn. You know, just recently, you did it far away from where it happened, even bigger than us. But again, we learned. So we learn from every step, we learn from every failure, we learn from every fall, and we get up even stronger. So look at the losses that you've gone through. Try to analyze what caused it, then fix it, and keep moving. You know, when you fall down, like I said in one song, get up and walk. Clean yourself along the way. Situka. Situka. Get up and let's move. So don't give up, sister. Don't get discouraged. The road is rough, but we have to walk it, and we shall reach the destination.
Yeah, let's go party!
So let's go party. Let's go high.
Let's go high.
Ni hapa tu, siende sana.
Bobi, no. Go inside. Bobi. 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 Tumeaje?
Kuna moja lakini ulikuwa bado. Kuna moja tumekaa. Tukate alafu tuende juu ama takata. Wengine tutaweka ni pamoja.
I'll give someone.